On what percentage of days did you see a man above 50's penis? Because it's like 7 out of 10 for me.
So it's like not 100% of days I was there I saw one, but 100% of times there was a guy above 50 in there. He was hanging dong.
Betwixt the ruby seas, deep in the eye of the storm, a bastion of beef and hope lies nestled in the sand. 4 men almost lost to the deep now find tranquility within its walls. And now they're inviting you in for a tale unlike anything you've ever heard before.
Dude, like, honestly, you guys are constantly gaslighting me about the color of my skin, and like, it's getting so old.
It's getting really old.
Hey, Beef Boys, you know what that means? It's
4 big guys, and they bust on my eyes. They eat my ass just like apple pie. If they keep fucking me like this, I might just die. They pie my booty till I cry. He licked my dick and the cum starts dripping. I took a bite of his ass, it tastes like lemon pepper chicken.
Welcome, Beef Boys.
That's a badly wiped ass, if that's what it tastes like.
Dude, lemon pepper chicken is fucking fire.
That's
a beautifully wiped ass.
No,
Yeah, you don't want an ass to taste like that, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. You shouldn't have the taste of food in ass.
Yeah. I mean, would you rather get even the cleanest of ass tastes on an ass if you're gonna have to eat an ass, or would you rather it taste like fucking lemon pepper chicken?
That reminds me of
even the cleanest ass isn't lemon pepper chicken.
So my friends had a question very similar to this that reminds me, and I'll swap out the name of our friend for someone a bit more relevant to this podcast. How much money would you have to be paid to eat butter chicken out of Matthew Winter's ass, but the whole time he's looking back here and going, nom, 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 nom.
How much chicken?
How long would we be down there?
Well, until you finish it. It's one regular serving of butter chicken.
Let's just say, for the sake of it, there's some kind of evil science going on that keeps it like suspended there, and I don't have to like dig through the bones in his butthole and everything. Like I could just dude, like $1,000.
You just do it for the free food.
4 big guys, and they bust on my eyes. They eat my ass just like apple pie. If they keep fucking me like this, I might just die. They pie my booty till I cry. He licked my dick and the cum starts dripping. I took a bite of his ass, it tastes like lemon pepper chicken.
Yo, it's kind of bars.
It really is bars. Critical went in on that shit.
I've started going back to the gym finally now that COVID's done and dusted and no one's dying of it anywhere. And I'm going to a different one to the one I used to go to, and I was like 2 sessions in and I remembered being told by someone that's the gay gym in my area.
Is it called Gay Gym?
It is actually.
This is Gay Gym.
Yeah, which like you would have thought.
It's owned by a guy named Gay Jim.
It's owned by a guy named Jim, and he's very happy, and he hates the fact that it's been overtaken for that reason.
It's like, I'm not even gay. People just call me that.
Nothing wrong with a gay gym. I'm not especially gay, so I do feel like.
What kind of intro is this?
What point I was going to say? The point is. The music they play over the speakers there is definitely sometimes in line with that song. I wouldn't be surprised if that song came on at least once while I was there.
Wait, hold on.
So it really is Gay Gym,
owned by Gay Jim.
They're playing like gay pornography on the speakers.
Sucking cock, licking balls, lifting weights in the stalls.
You know, there's songs that like you kind of just know are played at a gay nightclub. Like there's kind of like a certain energy to it that I guess is only good for man on man fucking.
Yeah, like Lamb of God shit, like for sure. Tool, maybe Tool, Devil Wears Prada, Whitechapel,
the Home Depot theme song.
Anyway, welcome to Beef Boys, the straightest podcast.
I won't follow all of that up with that. That sounds like a real proclamation.
Bring back Christian values to America, one episode at a time.
Hey, just like the real Pope, I too believe in gay marriage. Amen.
Well, the Pope believes in gay marriage between a man and a child. There's a big difference. The Vatican, the age gap. That
but there was a patch recently where this one actually does believe and proclaim the love of the gays in the Christian spheres or
big
Catholic
chunk
spheres.
of the Catholic Church that did not like it.
But I bet there's a bigger chunk of the Christian church that didn't like it. Fuck you, Catholic gang.
I'm always okay. Can someone explain this? Why
Catholic
is
gang? Fuck you.
Is this something to do with hating the Irish? But like, why is there like such a I suppose in like a lot of, I don't know, fundamentalist Christian memes I see, there's like a real intense hatred of the Pope, or at least maybe not fundamentalist Christians the right word, more like, I suppose, like conspiracy boomers. There's a lot of people who are like, put the Pope on the same level as like Hillary Clinton and like the Queen.
It's because the most recent poop.
The poop.
Oh my god, man!
Next segment.
Let's move on. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Well, it's back to just us four. We can talk about anything now.
Yeah.
This is,
we could,
and, we've had an amazing 2 weeks chatting with Nick and Sarah.
Yeah, what a way to kick off season 2.
I know, so many good yarns with those guys. It was so much fun. But now we're back. It's just the boys.
What should we talk about?
Here they come, joking across the sky. It's lots and lots of extra beef. The smelliest collection of behind-the-scenes clips, special recordings, bonus episodes, funny JPEGs, and much, much more.
You'll get to see big beef, little beef, naked, drunk, and unsavory beef, even beef that may regret their actions, plus much, much more when you subscribe to the Beef Boys Patreon.
And for this special early bird offer, you can get in for only $5, the same price that everyone will pay for the rest of eternity, because we only have one tier and don't ever plan on raising the price.
This special one-time offer will be available for literal years to come. But don't you want to be in before the beef starts to rot? Call now at 678-999-8212 or go to patreon.com/beefboys. Link in the description and come in my ass.
Welcome to Dude Room Locker Talk. Nothing but ass, grass, and the Nintendo Switch. For the dudes, by the dudes. Freak off.
Yeah, baby, suck on my fucking rhombus.
Now, for all the ladies listening, this is how dudes talk. We talk about the obscure shapes of our cocks and whether or not you can recognize them
locker room
in a
talk.
scientific setting.
I just want to. This is locker room talk for when James runs for president in 16 years.
I was just going to ask you guys on your thoughts on pussies. You guys like pussies?
I like them fat.
We're all in agreement that we like pussies, yes?
I like him
I like a good dick sometimes, but yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, next topic. Just wanted to hammer that home. Just so that way that's on
Getting
record.
all the big ones out of the way.
I'll hammer your dick home.
Yeah. Beer. You guys like beers?
You like IPAs?
People who drink IPAs, I think that you're mentally handicapped. There's something fucking wrong with you for you to sit there and drink fucking like chewing tobacco dip spit in a fucking chilled glass.
That is not what
football.
IPAs are.
It's disgusting.
No, I don't. Coming from a former bartender that worked at a 25 tap beerology fucking place. We didn't serve nothing but fucking beer. IPAs are more of like them metro boys. They don't watch football. They trade stocks and like fucking wear shorts and stuff. IPAs are like a nice little, you go sit outside in your short shorts and like too tight of a button up and you sip on your like pink fizzy IPA. Yeah, no, dude. I feel fat football dipshits are drinking fucking Bush. Like they're not drinking IPA.
Here's the divide. Hold on, here's the divide. I'm from California, okay?
Well, everyone there drinks IPA.
Cool, dude. There we go again.
Stupid IPA.
No, that's what I'm saying. Every person who I've ever known who has ordered an IPA from somewhere, they are that guy that's like, fucking they're wearing the skull cap and they're like, they got a beard down to here and like, it's like there's, cause like I've tried an IPA before and like it tasted like I was drinking like somebody took a used tire off like an old Buick and fucking smelted it down and mixed it with like cum, piss, and shit, and then poured it into a glass.
It's weird that IPAs get that reputation because that's how I feel about like stouts and like really dark beers because I don't mind an IPA, but stouts to me just taste like you're drinking like Targu.
Maybe it's like a East Coast or Southern thing, but like my idea of like the average IPA enjoyer is like it's the people associated with it. If a Christian guy is going to drink, they're going to drink IPAs, and they're always in the getup of the like my daddy can help me beat the rape case. It's that fit.
Yeah, Sperry's cargo shorts and a polo. Button
that
down.
is the uniform of IPA drinkers where I come
personally don't like beer, but stouts and porters are my shit. But fucking
really,
Yeah, but IPAs can be pretty interesting depending on what you do with them. I feel
I've got a friend who's trying to gaslight everyone he knows into thinking it's Italian pale ale, and he's gotten me about twice.
That's fucking great.
Here, drink this Italian Schmegmarino.
Going back to speaking of Italian Schmegmarino and going back to locker rooms. Oh no! Have you guys ever been in a public gym locker room, like not like a school locker room, like a public gym locker room? Because I know a lot of people that go to the gym and don't go in the locker room, like they just go in, get out. On what percentage of days did you see a man above 50's penis? Because it's like 7 out of 10 for me.
Not every time, but if there was an old guy above his 50s in there, I probably saw it. So it's like not 100% of days I was there I saw one, but 100% of times there was a guy above 50 in there. He was hanging dong.
So there was a smaller gym that I went to. When I was like really fit, I had a membership at 2 gyms. And I had like a guest membership, like this weird guest membership plan at a 3rd gym. And me and my friends would work out like fucking every single day just for fun. And there was so I went to I had one at Retro and one at LA Fitness and then one at just like a local one. So those are like big chain ones. The local one I went to was like small and a little too intimate, especially the locker room.
Everyone was kissing.
Yes. And a lot of the older dads, a lot of our dads would go there, not my dad, but a lot of my grades and whatever, people I was in school with, his dads would go there. And one of my friends' dads, and who has known me since I was in middle school, would just hang cock and stop and talk to me. He would stop and talk to me with his penis out. He'd be like, "Hey James, how's football going this year?" I'm like,
did he have his hands on his hip?
You go
slowly. He's got, just kind of one on his hip, just kind of leaning on the side of the locker, and it's like
you slap his cock like you slap his shoulder. How you doing, buddy? Wham!
I've known you since before I even touched my own penis. And you're like,
yours. Put it away. So Jerry came out of there, you say. Interesting.
You guys dap each other up with your cocks and just kind of wrap around each other.
All the gyms I've been to have had just private locker rooms, and most people don't change there. They seem to come in gym clothing, but
they just come.
The pool I used to go to back in my hometown, it was a really big pool. But the changing room was literally just a giant fucking concrete room. It was massive. And it was separated by gender, obviously. But yeah, you go in there.
Wow.
This would be when I was 5, 6, whatever. And yeah, you go in there and just every dude would just be fucking butt naked, just fat hogging it. Yes. But there was a few times when I was 4 or 5, real young, and I go with my mum, and I was obviously too young to go into the men's one by myself, so I got to go into the women's one. And that was
Mummy, where are the cocks?
What's this one?
Cockless. When I would go to a public gym, when I had a gym membership, I started going to 24-hour fitness, and I feel there I saw a lot of cock. It was a lot of old man cock.
That's before you even got in.
Right, yeah, they're just hanging out outside, handing out flyers, butt ass naked. But they had such big locker rooms and such big showers that it was just aisles of just naked old dudes just fucking just showering. But then when I canceled my membership there and I went to Choose, which is a small, I don't know if you guys have them where you live, but it's a smaller gym, that I never saw penis because everybody there was pretty modest. Just I'm not coming here to shower. I'm just gonna shower when I get home.
Do you think it's a power thing or a kink?
I've only been to 2 gyms, but neither of them in New Zealand or Australia. So 2 brands of gyms, but I've been to multiple locations. They don't seem to do the big communal thing.
I kind of feel it's a cult, I guess, generational thing.
Cult?
I was gonna say cultural thing, but I realized cultural wasn't the right word. Generational thing, because I feel when I hear stories of my grandfather, people older who would, they'd have gym class, the coach would be like, "Hit the showers, boys," and so they just kind of grew up doing that, and then as it kind of went on, less and less of us started showering after gym class. So when you get to us, we're all like, "I'm not whipping my dick out after."
That's a good question. Did any of you guys ever do that after gym class? Use the Yeah.
No.
The only people that ever used them were the
body spray, aka a shower in a can, brother.
Yeah.
I think that's
the Mexican shower.
The only people that used the showers in our school were, I didn't even know they worked until I knew people on the wrestling team and they would use them. Wrestling, just from all the people that I know, wrestling players, wrestlers. There you go, James. Wrestling players. Wrestlers and hockey players are extremely homoerotic. I'm just gonna put it that way. Like not just beyond like showering with each other, gay. Like they would like play games with each other's penises. From people that I knew specifically, and like hockey players from multiple schools talking about this shit. Like they're just like flipping their fucking penises around and shit. Like so.
See, wrestling.
If you want to see a lot of dick, join the hockey team.
Wrestling, you're like already like you're already grabbing each other and fucking rolling around in oil
and fucking.
So I guess like slapping the dick isn't a step up, but hockey's like this is like another sport. I don't know how's that any different to like soccer. Why is soccer?
Did someone just get hurt in the background of your mics? Should someone go check on that?
Those.
It had like really convincing reverb and the slap didn't come in. That was so weird.
Just falling down the stairs and Doplex is like, the only guy at my school that used the showers was the principal, because he would like go for a run at like 6 a.m, arrive at school, shower, and then like get dressed in suit. But like nobody I knew ever used the showers. Like the entire time I was there, I never saw anyone using them. And it's a really weird thought looking back on it. Weird they didn't, I guess good they don't make you, but it just mean we stank the rest of the day.
I go hard as fuck in gym class, and I barely sweat too. I think I have like a disorder. I just get like really hot. My body starts like vibrating instead of sweating for some reason. It's really strange.
There's probably something wrong there.
But I would just go hard as fuck in gym, and would just sweat a little bit, wouldn't smell, and I just kind of like dab myself with a towel and go to class and being chilling. I fucking love gym class, man. Like people that are always like, oh, if you really fucking gym class, you think I'm gonna get myself dirty at school? Like shut the fuck up. Or like, you try so hard in gym class. Like no, fucking I'm playing dodgeball, bitch. I'm playing football. I'm playing baseball. I'm playing basketball. I'm playing kickball. Fuck you. I still want to do that as an adult. Fuck you. I hate people that say that. There's always so many people that say that, especially on podcasts. It pisses me off. Beef Boys likes gym class. Fuck you.
Okay, we'll make it just an official statement. Did you guys ever see the bullet ball thing? That dude who like put his whole life on the line to pitch bullet ball because he thought it was going to be the hot new sport?
That was like a Shark Tank thing, right?
Yeah, he went on Shark Tank and he was like,
I quit my job, sold all my possessions that I could sell.
It is our vision that one day bullet ball will become an Olympic sport.
It was just some random game where you flick a ball on a table or something. It was the lamest thing in the world. He was like, this is going to be an Olympic sport one day.
You're not going to make it with this.
The way you worded that was like you said, this guy put his life on the line to pitch bullet ball, and I was like,
that's where I thought he was going as well.
Yeah, like what is it, like you just try to dodge guns and it's like 50-50. Do you get to live tomorrow? You get a real big one-day contract.
It's kind of like
pull the Uno card.
What is it called, like paper football or whatever, where you like flick the little, you like fold up a little thing and flick that.
That's basically what he made.
It was pretty much that, but for soccer. Like it was like you have a little ball on a table and you like flick it. And you
stupid.
It is, but his like him. His fervor for this product. He was so set on like, this is it. I've fucking cracked the nut. I know how to make this. It's so depressing to watch.
Speaking of finger sports, your mom. Two. In that legendary wood shop class I had where we like flooded the entire room and like stuffed towels under the doors and burned people's projects and stuff. Like in that class, we finished our final project like halfway through the semester. So this fucking kid in my class that was just really good built a table hockey board out of like built one like out of like wood and shit, obviously, and like and like built like sticks and everything for everybody. And for like the entire semester, we just had table hockey tournaments and shit like that would go on for like a few weeks at a time. And then like we'd make little championship rings out of like wood, and you'd like win one, and then we'd start another one. And we also did one that was called Stick Box, which was literally just, for some reason it was more complicated because we added added a bunch of rules to it, but it was literally you built a stick, which you just cut a piece of wood and then it becomes a stick, but you could just cut it in a cool shape, I guess. And then you built a box of your own design that couldn't be bigger than like a certain diameter or some shit. That's a circle. And you'd try to throw it into it, and it was basically basketball with a stick in a box. But for some reason, we took it way more serious. And dude, that shit was epic, bruh. Shout out
shit, the dumb shit that you fucking code. Hey, so that reminds me, the woodworking. I'm going to call it an arena because I can't. Okay, classroom. The woodworking arena was near our old hangout spot at school. You guys tell me your hangout spots that you used to have in high school. Like, did you and your friends have like a nook of the school that was like during recess and lunch? Like, that's just where you went. Like, you were guaranteed to be.
Yeah. In
that one location because we don't have like cafeterias and shit in New Zealand. Most people just bring a packed lunch, or there might be like a what do you call it? Like a shop where you can buy
lunch.
Yeah, there'd be like a suppose it was more like a fucking hole in the wall store, so things you'd like buy your nachos or whatever the fuck, and then go sit wherever you want to sit.
From at least for me, like we had a cafeteria and shit. We didn't get like any kind of recess or like free period or anything. And if you did get a free period, it was like the last period of the day, so you would just leave. But so like. You couldn't really be anywhere in the school that you weren't supposed to be at any given time, like for any reason.
Land of the free, my ass.
Yeah.
I went to one of those high schools where you could leave during lunch. And like, what? I remember we used to go down the street to the Albertsons, which is a grocery store for you, kudos.
Thanks.
And we would go into the aisle.
I didn't know what that
some
is
old dude's
either.
house.
Wait, you guys don't have Albertsons where you live?
No.
I think that's just some guy's house, though, please. I don't think there's.
Do you have Nicholas Market Superfood Town?
No, I don't.
Well, don't be so quick to judge.
Albertsons is like a massive chain. That's crazy. Anyway,
do you have S&S Patels?
Yes.
There was a dairy up the road from me in Wellington. We called it. It's called S&S Patels. We called it Sassy Pats.
We would go to Albertsons. We'd like find an aisle with a bunch of like really good snacks, and we would just sit there and just like eat all the snacks. Like we wouldn't pay for anything. We would just like sit in the middle of the fucking grocery store and just like get like beef jerky and shit. Just eat it and just walk out because it's like. Well, we're not stealing. We're just coming here for lunch. That was epic.
Did you ever get caught?
Nah.
Sweet.
That's epic, man. I went to the same high school as my dad, and when my dad went to that high school...
Oh, right.
Yeah, my dad's a big idiot. No,
he's really smart. He just didn't want to leave.
Yeah, it was so fun. When he was there, you were able to like leave for lunch and shit. But we would do 2-a-days or 3-a-days for football sometimes. So it would be like you come in the morning, you practice, and then you take like an hour break, and then you practice again like all afternoon. And in the middle of that, we could like go somewhere to get food if you didn't bring something. And like I was a lineman, so we were all like fat and disgusting, and like we were supposed to be fat and disgusting too.
You guys were all lines.
We'd like work out all morning, and knowing that we had a bunch of like and like it would be mostly cardio in the afternoon, so knowing we had a bunch of like gassers and shit to run the entire afternoon, we had to like jump this sketchy ass fence, go through the woods, and then we had to cross an 8-lane highway in New Jersey called the Parkway, and there was a shitty Tiger Mart on the other side, which is just a really bad gas station, and they sold like pre-made food, but like even worse than 7-Eleven. Like it is like really bad, because I feel like people people that go and eat food at gas stations now are like so fucking like taken care of. Like there's like little kiosks you can even get like food made at and everything now, and like Wawa's are like a fucking 5-star restaurant. Like, and even like like the gates that are near me and stuff now have like little restaurants inside. Like we would go in and you would just get like frozen food like off a fucking shelf and then like put it on a roller and just let it sit there, and we just like we'd cross an 8-lane highway, eat like 20 taquitos and like a burrito, and then cross all the way back, and then we'd have to run for like 5 hours, and literally every day everyone threw up, and it was just like part of the day. It was just part of the day.
Speed run.
Yeah, it was so stupid. Intense.
Like you guys are sprinting over a fucking highway just to go get sick.
Yeah.
Is that why you shat yourself during practice?
Okay, yeah, I did tell that story. I was going to say, I don't know if I told that story.
We gotta go get the bug, man.
Yeah.
I've been yearning for a good vom. So I do want to, because we have a shit ton of Reddit questions that I feel like we should get to.
Oh yeah.
That we've missed out on over our break.
Fuck them.
And
all of them suck.
No, you know what? I'm sticking up for them, all right? Because they're my only friends. Because you guys always make fun of me for being brown.
Fans.
This one comes from Magic Howie.
Why'd you say his name so depressing? This one comes from Magic Howie.
They ask, interesting aesthetics. One of mine is neon acrylic. I think about it a lot. It was on everything too. Light brights, rulers, clipboards, T-bells, free item coin spinner. Oh, I know exactly what you're fucking talking about. This is like a little thing you put a coin in, you spin it, you get a little cinnamon twist. I even remember a neon acrylic violin in Starship Troopers. My brain has to point it out every time I watch it with someone. What's some of your obscure aesthetics? Well, I've never said those two words together.
I looked it up for anyone who doesn't quite know what he's talking about. It was that era where like everything was like some kind of neonish color and see-through. So like the rulers you could get that were like
the N64s.
Yeah, and like everything had that like see-through.
Yeah, I had nunchucks.
Like everything was translucent.
That wasn't.
I saved up like my GameStop points for like 3 fucking years when I used to buy everything from GameStop still just to get a see-through acrylic neon light up Nintendo nunchuck for the Wii.
That's fucking
it's like with thousands of dollars of purchases got me. Just a fucking nunchuck.
Yeah. It's funny because that exact brand is like the cheapest fucking. It's like $10. So they're like fucking garbage.
Yeah. Fuck, that's funny.
Interesting aesthetic. Stretch marks.
Stretch marks on white women who are going through a tough time.
Me. You describe me.
This art style I've seen pop around a few times, and I think they might have done it. Actually, the best way I can describe it is pretty much Hades. The game Hades. A phenomenal game. But the visual art style of that, what I liked about it is they use these really insane colors as highlights and shit. Like if you remember, I don't know if you guys can remember, but there's like certain parts where like hidden in the grooves or used as highlights or lowlights. It'll be like a fluorescent green or purple, which you'd think would stand out and look hideous, but it's used just enough that it blends really nicely. And I mean, color theory in general is kind of wacky. Like if you really look at the colors that go into creating certain things, you'd be like, oh, this looks blue, and then you eyedropper it and it's like fucking like red or some shit. You're like, how the fuck does that work? So it's very much like high level that shit. But I've seen a few illustrators on Twitter who have like mastered that style as well, and they'll just draw a character and they'll put these like crazy colors like peering in through the cracks in it. It's a very cool style. I'll try to find some examples to put up on screen.
I have one. I don't know if you guys would really like know it or remember it. It's like it was pretty obscure. It was kind of like a 90s thing where like there's a lot of like shapes on stuff that were like colorful. It wasn't around, it wasn't around like that much, but just a lot of shapes. A lot of colorful shapes on stuff. Pretty rare. Right. You won't find much of that on r/nostalgia, but that's an aesthetic that I kind of like.
I'm really into cars driving down a neon highway into the sun.
Yeah, and the road's a purple glid. There's these old sweatshirts that were really big in like the 80s and 90s though. That like they're not like super obscure, but I've always really liked them. They're like super expensive. I think the brand is like Kugi or Kugi or something. And they're these crazy hand knitted Italian sweaters that it's literally just swatches and like lines and shit of just all different kinds of colors and like colorways and stuff. And they don't really make any sense. There's like no patterns going on. It's just this really nice knitted wool, just like colors that they'll pick, and it's usually like pretty dark and like it's not really like bright and it's like nice dark colors just like all over the place, and there's no like rhyme or reason to it. And I always really like those sweaters. Courtney, here's one to put up. They're pretty nice.
There it is.
Thank you, Courtney. And if you're an audio listener,
fuck you. Actually, if you're an audio listener on Spotify now, our video we can upload our video to Spotify.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
If you're ever like
on
listening
your way to work,
yeah,
put it up. Don't pay attention to the road, pay attention to us.
Yeah. Or you can like open it and then close your phone or go to a different app and like it'll still like play audio. But like if you ever hear us be like, oh, look at this, then you can open it just for that and be like, oh shit, they look quick, and then like crash and die. But you would see the Kugi sweater.
Andrew Doplex, do you have any aesthetics that make you piss?
I think
and Bo
Christian veggie
the entire aesthetic of Treasure Planet.
Oh hell yeah! I didn't know we were going like that. Yeah.
And anything that has to do with like, I don't even. James will know what I'm talking about, and I'm not sure if you guys do. That one artist that we both follow who has that really famous print of his of like that port town with the old boats and stuff, and it's not quite like an old style. It just has this very particular aesthetic that almost feels steampunky, but it's not quite.
Sure.
Yeah, no,
I'm not sure. I'll have Courtney throw up some images for everybody, but that I love that. It just always makes me feel very cozy. I'm like, ooh, that looks.
Yeah,
like
I love all of the punks. Okay. Steampunk, cyberpunk, Compunk. There's another one that I was trying to think of that I don't remember. But also like retrofuturism's like super fucking cool, like kind of like what Fallout does, but like when artists can like just take it and do like an interpretation of it. Like fucking BioShock does it really well too. And Dishonored does like a really cool kind of like punky retrofuturism thing. That's like my favorite shit, especially in games.
We've been watching a lot of Defunct Lane recently, and it's pretty crazy seeing like the concept art for a lot of the rides from Disneyland and shit from like, you know, the 60s and 70s, where they were like obviously it doesn't end up looking anything like that. This is like an absolute best case scenario, but like a lot of the art is fucking beautiful. Like it'd be something you'd frame, but they just made it to be like, this is the vibe we want for this like plaza or whatever. And
which is funny because that's basically like, it's retrofuturism, but not meant to be. Like, that was just futurism. You know what I mean?
These days it's retrofuturism, I guess, but back then it was just like... Yeah, it's interesting how futurism is definitely like soured over time. Like futurism then was like, we're going to solve all of humanity's problems and then have a skyway to Mickey Mouse.
We're on the decline. That's why.
Now it's like cyberpunk is like our futurism. It's like, shit's fucked. Damn but it might look cool at least.
No, exactly. No, 100%. I've always really loved... I mean, that's where a lot of like the punks and like obviously the idea of like retrofuturism got their start, where it was like, I love looking, it's like rare that you'll find it, but like looking at art from artists from like the, you know, the like 1800s, and it's their idea of what the future could be. And this is like, and that's like before you even like had fucking electricity and shit. But it's like seeing the future through like the eyes of the past is a really fucking interesting and like really philosophical experience.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point, James, where you bring up the punks. Aether Punk is also quite a cool but not often explored one of the... it's probably the lesser known of the three punks. But what
about crypto punks?
That was... You should do a video on that, Doplex.
So we were talking about pussy, beer, bros, and now crypto.
We really have all the major...
The quadrilogy. Yeah.
Our masculinity has been confirmed.
Now we're officially a podcast.
Yes.
For me, I guess mine... well, actually, I experienced this recently, and it's an experience that's very near and dear to my heart. Every once in a while, I'll go back to my hometown down in San Diego. And growing up, there was always... like where I grew up, the skies. Fuck, my mic stand is falling
off. He's doing stand up now.
Look at this bullshit, dude. It fucking broke.
Is that the road one or no?
That's what I've got.
No, this is like a shitty fucking Amazon one.
I think I had the same exact one for a while.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
Does it have like a spring in the middle of that like if your finger gets caught in it, you basically like die?
Yes.
Yep. That's
I had that exact one. It was like $20.
I hate this thing. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, I was so rudely interrupted by my piece of shit fucking mass-produced stupid ass Jeff Bezos device. This is like such a basic bitch answer, and I fucking hate that I'm gonna say this, but there's more to it. But you know when the sky is like cotton candy pink? You know, it's like the sun's going down. And like the sky is pink. It's like pink, blue, white. But in my hometown, there was always hot air balloons. Like anytime the sky was pink, you look up, it was like pink sky and hot air balloons. And it was like such a gorgeous...
That's pretty lit.
That feels like something that'd be like a really nice illustration for like a very cozy game. Like Stardew Valley kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. But like... that was like advertised like for my hometown, right? It was like the bus benches had like real estate agents and like fucking pictures of hot air balloons. It was like everywhere. Yeah. So last weekend, Sabrina and I, we drove through my hometown, and like I looked over to the side, sky was pink and hot air balloons, and I was like, oh my God, this is it.
I love this.
It was like,
this is
it. It touched me in like the right way, and I was like, this is my aesthetic.
That's beautiful.
I want to breathe
awesome.
this in. Just girly things.
If you could,
on Tumblr.
if you could pioneer an aesthetic, what would it be? Because I want to pioneer future retroism, where like, if you know, whenever I get like enough money or success, where it's like, I just don't really have to be available to anyone anymore and don't have to worry about like, oh, I got a funny tweet to make. Like, I'm totally buying a flip phone. Like, I hate my phone. There's no upside to my phone, and it's not even like like somebody texted me something mean today. Like, I got a smartphone in like 9th or 10th grade. Like, I was never fucking interested in it. I fucking hate it. I didn't have social media until like the middle of high school. Like, it's AIDS, and I cannot wait to just buy a fucking flip phone again. And the only way you can contact me is like 3-word text messages or call me. Because I like when people call me. I hate when people fucking text me. Yeah, no, dead ass though for the meme. Like, I want to have like, on my last flip phone that I had, the ringtone was I'm on a boat. I bought that for like $3.99 or something. Awesome. So like, I definitely want to buy like the fucking Undertaker's theme song, or like some Akon song as my fucking ringtone, and just have a fucking Razer Motorola and call it a life and just chill.
Yeah, that is a vibe.
I want to pioneer that, where it's just like, let's go back, monkey.
Yeah,
I'll fuck with that.
Hell yeah.
What about you guys? You got any aesthetics that you would pioneer?
I can't think of any new ones, but I'm also a big fan of like, I think Dopex's answer made me think of like, you know, like the sort of cozy cottagecore, like, I know cottagecore's a thing, but like, I guess like Japanese anime art style, like the background illustrations of like countrysides, like this like small town in rural Japan with some like slice of life anime set or whatever, and it's like this like beautiful painterly like fucking, and the skies are beautiful and shit. I've been following a lot of artists on Twitter who do that kind of like, I guess like speed paint concept art, and it's every time I see it I'm just like, oh, I want to live in this paint and this speed painting. So I don't know. Now, bright colors, cozy landscapes. Do more of that.
Kudos, you've been to Japan, so
I have.
I've always wondered, like, does that exist? Can you even get that far away from other people in Japan? Like, it seems like there's so many people, and it's literally the size of like New Jersey, and it's like 50 million people or some shit. Like, I'm not even in like a weird fucking. I don't care. Japan's epic, but I don't know much about it. But I always see that art and I'm like, damn, that is fucking epic. But is it like, I feel like every inch of Japan is used, like it, but I don't know. I've never been there.
As far as I know, it's pretty thoroughly like, you know, if it's not town, it's probably farmland. But that being said, I didn't stray very far from like the cities, and when I did go between the cities, it was on the Shinkansen, the bullet train, so it was very like still very developed land. But you know, you look out of the bullet train and you'd see like, you know, bush up on the hills, and you'd see like just farmland, like just, you know, empty fields as far as the eye can see. So there is definitely that there. It's not like you know, top to bottom urban landscape. There is definitely like a distinct countryside. As for whether or not there's like massive like national parks, I'm not too sure. That'd be a good question. I would be surprised given the amount of people there are that they're probably having to eat into their parks more and more. But the thing about Japan as well is it's like a collection of like 1 billion islands. So there's almost certainly like one of those random islands out there that's got like a town of like 2,000 people that probably has this like beautiful scenic walk that's, you know, would all be the same sort of foliage and aesthetic as like the mainland Japan. So I don't know. Great question.
We gotta grab one of those like little unused islands like around Alaska or Japan or New Zealand or some shit, and just like develop it and just like,
let's move to
call it ours.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no one will stop it. Speaking of, after talking about it on a certain podcast me and Dopex went on, I did some research into Epstein's Island. This is almost certainly an observation that has been made and is not an original one in the slightest.
How can I buy it?
Yeah, I was doing some research.
And all of the women.
To clear my name. But has someone pointed out the fact that Epstein's Island, Little St. James, is located in the Virgin Islands? Was that like, did he pick that? Because that is like,
I'm sure he picked that.
Fucked.
I'm 100%
like he
sure
definitely
he
was
that.
like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, billionaires are fucking sickos, and they got that weird like cryptic mindset.
Yeah, they love the irony of being fucking child rapists.
That's what they've got left.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a pedophile, and I'm gonna move to a place called Pedophile Land, and people will never know. Fuck kids.
The funny thing is that like there is that to a degree, but it's funny when conspiracy theorists think that like they do that about everything. Like the idea that you can like they said this one thing with like a wink on some like news station, and so therefore like
4 times,
like as though they're getting off on the fact of like hiding. Like, do you remember? I was thinking about this the other day. Do you remember that phase when like Jay-Z and Kanye were doing the fucking like triangle thing for a while, and everyone was like, "It's the Illuminati. They're signaling to their Illuminati brothers and shit." And it's like, why don't I just text them? What are you doing?
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
Like that's really
I hate that shit.
Yeah,
I hate that shit because it pulls away from like actual like
discussion.
people are like, oh, Bill Gates put vaccine in your arm and it makes you magnetic because he wants to control the whole universe. But and it's like why are you focusing on that instead of Bill Gates owns more farmland than anybody or any corporation in the entire fucking world, and most of it's in the US. Why? Because there's gonna be water and food wars in 50 years. So like we should probably take that away from him and redistribute it and like not worry about him putting fucking magnets in your arm, you stupid fucks. Like that is a real issue.
That's kind of I like how we went from like we like snowballed into this, but that's kind of the thing though, right? It's like that proves that extremists, whatever you believe in, if you're extreme about it, you're gonna seem like a fucking nutcase, and on top of that, you're gonna take away actual fucking validity from other things that should be talked about.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if some of those like the fucking 5G chip meme like that was introduced by the powers that be into like these these conspiracy
I don't think
circles.
that was that actually real? Like I think the 5G chip thing, like that was just like that was just more of an exaggeration.
That was definitely real amongst certain groups. Yeah, there are people.
The magnetism thing was like the magnetism thing was definitely like a real thing people cling to for a couple of months.
No, I know that was real, but I mean like the actual like because I always thought that was just like a meme, like oh he's going to inject 5G.
I think that the meme was a reaction to people saying that, like that people were saying that, and people were like, "This is so ridiculous," and then made fun of it. But it definitely started from some of those conspiracy groups. But like again, like you say, like there was very real conspiracy discussions to be had. And instead people focus on dumb shit like, oh, they're using 5G to melt your children's face and control them and make them eat soy for some reason. And
well, that's what I'm saying.
I've always subscribed to the idea, though, that it very... Not in every case, because the farther you go down this, the more conspiratorial you seem. But like, I subscribe to the idea that a lot of this shit, since the internet specifically has come about, that like comes up about these people are just smoke screens to deflect from the things they're actually doing, like buying up the entire world and like ruining your life and taking away all your labor rights and privileges and everything. I would not doubt
a conspiracy in its own.
It is a conspiracy in its own, but it's definitely one that I subscribe to, and one that I think that to a certain level, and that I think that it's within the realm of possibility amongst at least like in reference to like the vast the iceberg of conspiracy theories. Or, I think that's like I think that's like towards that's like the part that fucking Titanic ran into. Like I don't think it's like it's not like buried deep underwater.
The libtard iceberg explained.
Yeah. Well, that's like one thing that bugs me, and like I know we've had like discussions about this before, but like I feel like in our current society,
we live in it.
I feel like you can't. we do in fact live in one.
I feel like you can't. Back on dough, please.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you can't like realistically talk about shit like that without being like checkboxed into like a specific group.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
If you want to have if you want to like even just entertain the idea of having a conversation, let's say, right, for example, I'm interested in talking about 5G. Like I want to know if somebody builds a 5G tower outside of my apartment, is that going to give me ball cancer in 5 years?
Yeah.
I can't ask that question because I seem like a fucking nutcase because I'm checkboxing everything else. Like that to me is so annoying, and like the fact that Sorry, I don't mean to get like preachy.
I agree.
We're having a fun time. We're just four big guys and we're busting in your eyes. But like,
dust on your thighs.
That pisses me off to no end because sometimes I just want to I want to have a conversation about shit that genuinely freaks me out. But I don't want to be labeled as an alt-right fucking butthole just because I want to talk about, hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe Jeffrey Epstein did move to pedophile island.
This is like a really, not saying that just the at the end there when you start doing the maybe, it sounded like a bad like stand-up bit someone would be doing in like a really angry club that would like go, I want to know about that.
George Carlin.
Someone heckles him and he just, not George Carlin. What the fuck? George Carlin's like one of the best comics of all time.
I said George Carlin's great.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was at a fucking throw fist.
No, I love George Carlin. He's good.
I totally agree, and I think that even that. I don't know. I think that even that trying to make out discussions around the obscure, like the occult or just like the powers that be, making that discussion sound stupid is definitely on the agenda of people who do not want to be discussed. Because you have not even in a conspiratorial way, but like you have people like Elon and Bill and stuff that kind of like, as much as they are fucking nerds and like Steve Jobs, they want to be. They have something in them that not only wants all the money and the power, but they want to be in the limelight and do their little fucking dance and just be douchebags. Yeah. But you have the real powers that be that could crush an Elon or a Bill in a second. That don't want anyone to know their fucking names. Like you can't name them. None of you could name them, and neither fucking could I. They're the people that really run shit, that don't want it, and not even like they're like some black book shit, but like they just don't do anything to draw any attention, and they pull the strings from behind the fucking scenes, and they retain all the wealth and all the land, and they kind of. They puppet master people like fucking Elon and Bill.
Yeah, that's the
thing. It's not always how deep
the
pockets go. It's how it's like, you have these families that are like,
who's got
they turn of the century power, like early 20th century America, where they like there was really power left to seize then. Like it is a fucking vacuum. Hold on, really quick. I'm just thinking about this. When I said like families and power that be and shit, that was not just because it sounds like it. Like Doplex said, you can't talk about this stuff without X. I'm not making a Jews run the world reference. Let me say that to the camera. I'm not saying that Jews. I'm not saying that Jews. I'm not saying that Jews run the world or anything like that. Please.
That didn't even cross my mind.
I'm just making sure.
That's how unracist.
I feel like you shouldn't even bring that up because if the fact you brought it up, somebody's be like, oh, well, is he talking about Jews? I don't know.
That's actually an interesting point. I was watching something recently that said, because I definitely do this a lot in videos, like when people talk about things they really care about, or like specifically, like when you try to create media about something, it's like, specifically in our generation, you try to get out in like a comedic way. Usually you try to get out ahead of the criticism that will come to you from what you're saying. You know what I mean? So it's like you think that you're a step ahead from somebody, but like that kind of thinking actually like diminishes like where your point is going, because you're trying to like cut yourself off before you go too far, and it puts thoughts in people's heads who wouldn't have thought of that criticism without you have brought it up, So you're right, but I can't be going down as a Jew hater. So
okay,
I just want to get it out there.
That's fair. I mean, we know you're a Jew hater, but they don't even know that.
No, for sure.
Okay,
who runs the world?
Okay, that's fine.
Girls.
So anyway, those are the aesthetics that we'd like to see more of.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Should I ask the second question, Doplex? Actually, wait. The reason we got onto this is so Epstein's Island is called Little St. James, and on the Wikipedia article it says that he playfully called it Little St. Jeff.
He's a meme star.
Sick, Jeff.
I like how you could have just said that. That was such a short clip.
Yeah.
That was kind of just a tangential thing.
We got a bunch of good questions. All right, let me.
So rapid fire. No, just rapid fire. Let's get all of them.
Lightning round. Lightning round.
All right, we're going lightning round. This one comes from the Blood Red Hunter. If you have to swap lives with one of the Beef Boys, which do you choose?
Gay penis.
I don't know. I kind of like where I'm at.
All the jokes I can think of when appropriate. Next.
Duplex's girlfriend. Next question.
Here we go.
You can do it.
Geo Biden 9/11 6 embeds asks, do it fart.
No.
Yes. Always.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Big
Stay
Pidge asks, do it clap.
No.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a
I'll
clap right
a
now.
couple times.
Make it clap, James.
Every time. It always gets it.
Peenie Squeezy, aka Bruce,
he has nice tattoos.
Brucifer, asks,
He does.
What is your anti-bucket list? What are some of the things you would never? Fuck. What are some of the things you're never doing again? Mine are never getting a discount vasectomy again and letting a friend move in for free. These are things that happened at the same time.
Beanie Squeezy, I'm going to be honest. I feel like that was just an excuse to say that you got a weird vasectomy.
Discount vasectomy.
I feel like you've been desperate to say it, and this is the only way.
No,
to
think it.
Cut his dick off.
Think it's what.
No, I'm just memeing. Well, is it like things we've done? Like he asked before, but I have some things I just don't want to ever do.
Yeah,
One of them is
wouldn't
like
that
going
be
to
like
Switzerland.
things you don't even want to try? And like a bucket list is something you want to cross off before you die. An anti-bucket list is something you don't want to do before you die.
I think
Submarine.
I
I
think
never want to be in a submarine. That scares the piss out of me.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Have you been on one before?
How do you think
like,
we
are you
leave him?
answering it in that context?
That's what. No, he's saying he doesn't want to go on. It's his anti-bucket list.
I know, but in this context,
Keep
it's
up,
like you've done it,
Doplex.
but you never want to do it again.
No, but
Well,
he
that's what I
said,
was
can it just be
asking.
something that I don't want to do?
To start, or
Sorry,
to begin with.
Yeah.
My Pope
Lost my
has
direction.
Going for
We'll
the
answer,
rules of
we'll
a
answer
regular
that in that
bucket list.
context.
Fuck.
Right, okay, we'll answer in that context.
Have sex with a woman. Fuck, I don't. Yeah, it's like, what are
is
my
not-
biggest mistakes?
No, but it's not mistakes. It's stuff you don't want to do in the first place. I feel like I just don't really have, like, I don't keep track of things. I just don't do them.
I never want to eat homemade edibles again. That's mine.
Okay.
All right.
That shit's AIDS.
I didn't want to get on stage mostly naked again. There we go. If we do it, let's do the again one because that actually is easier to think of things
again.
for.
I never want to answer this question again.
Let's
There
go!
you go.
Running,
Doplex, you didn't answer. Doplex, you didn't answer.
Okay. I never want to stay in a dingy hotel in Mexico again. All right.
Okay. I feel there's a story there, but we'll save that for another time. Keep going.
Big Pidge asks, how many insects do you think there are on Earth? Give me your best
As many
guess.
as your mom weighs in pounds.
Let's go! Let's go!
Idiot.
Get fucked!
No, I actually like that question. Take like an actual numeric guess.
3.81 trillion.
Trillion.
What comes after like a trillion?
A googillion?
A quintillion?
A quadrillion.
Quadrillion.
Where does Google come into?
Oh, really?
Gillion?
A Nathan Fillion.
If you had to be colorblind to only one color, what would it be and why? Red, I fucking hate red. Blue's the best color. Fuck you.
The color of sour
Oh.
pussy, so I would never get turned off.
Black.
Andrew!
No, not for that. Just because it's already black. Like, what am I gonna not see?
It's so funny that I'm wearing red right now and Andrew's wearing black right now. We're just gonna get clipped and just be
That was
like,
a really good
these
hard
idiots.
cut.
That is a good hard cut. I kind of like cut.
No, we
it later,
can't.
to be honest with
We
you.
can't do Andrew
No,
like
he
that.
can't cut me.
Yeah, we can't.
Someone's
that would
gonna
imply
misconstrue
bad
my
things.
shit.
I would agree with red just
okay.
because you could still appreciate like a nice like a rolling field and during midday, like you could still appreciate like a country vista without missing out on too much red. Would suck if someone was bleeding out and you couldn't tell that. You're like, man, this man leaking mayonnaise.
That's
What's
true.
wrong? Why are you screaming?
Well, the saucy one asked, when we sleep in, what's the ratio of clothing to blankets? I sleep naked.
Sleep in my underwear or naked, depending on how my balls are feeling.
I sleep underwear.
It's t-shirt,
Nightcap.
basketball shorts with no underwear. So like my dick and balls are just bing chilling. And typically like one soft blanket. So not like a sheet or anything. Like a good in between. And I do wear socks.
Do you wear one of those
I'm a
little
weirdo.
gnome
I
caps
like wearing
as well?
socks.
Yeah, you like fucking, you dress up to go to sleep. I get naked, I
stay
pull the
fitted.
blanket over me and I stick my feet out from the bottom so that they don't get hot.
Oh, okay.
You're a fucking madman.
Why?
Dude, I cannot do that. There's something in the back of my brain that's like, something's going to fucking eat you.
Yeah, that
Or
was-
just like,
I felt like that until I was like 18 or 19.
I can't do it. Like,
used to- I
something
used
about
to
it
do-
just freaks me the fuck out. I do the blanket and like flip it and then tuck it like under, so it like makes a sleeping bag.
Yeah, I used to do that too. Yeah,
I used to think that, and then I started really thinking about it, and I was like, what the fuck would grab me? And then I started testing it, and nothing grabbed me, so here I am.
Yeah. No, literally same thing for me. Like, I always sleep with like one leg completely out of the blankets. I don't even care anymore. Because like, what the fuck's gonna grab me?
When I'm sleeping.
Goblin
Next question.
Come out like, finally, somebody who trusts me. And then he's like a really nice guy.
He gives you $60 and leaves.
He gives you $60. Here,
Buy yourself.
buy Among Us too.